All right, guys. So this may look a little funny. Some people prepare slides. I do that from time to time, but honestly, because of how my brain works, I love to throw like one thing on a mind map and just start going and see where I end up. Okay, so what you're seeing is the entirety of what we're going to cover here today, and let's go ahead and get started here. If it's too shaky, my bad. All right. Like I said before I started recording, the goal of this call today is to just give you some insights into what Patient Stream or what Patient Stream, that's the name of my agency, by the way, what UpX is, what we're doing, and why we are really building this for you. Okay. We're going to cover, how you can make more money. At the end of the day, my agency, there was times when it made a lot of money, times where it didn't make very much money. And most of the time, it just gave me headaches. Okay. It seems like a fun business before you get in it. And then you learn, hey, this is actually like a real business. It's not as easy as they said it was, right? We're going to talk about templates. Okay. Templates is something that might be completely foreign to you. If you're watching this on a replay and you're just barely getting, you might not know anything about templates. We'll talk about those. And then we'll also talk about a new opportunity that we exploited in 2021 in our agency. And we want to show you how you can do the same thing. There's enough out there for everybody to get in and grow a business and to have a really fun time doing it. So we're excited. And thanks again for being here and also for watching this. Just quick introductions, who we are and all that kind of stuff. My name is Sam Carlson. I've been in the agency business for about 7 years. I used to have a podcast called the Next Level Facebook Ads Podcast, downloaded a whole bunch of times. I wrote a book on medical marketing specifically. It was called New Patient School, the how-to guide for converting more leads into patients. Wrote a book on it. And I've always been in the agency space. I've always been kind of the tip of the spear when it comes to sales and marketing. That's been my role. Bradley Kipp, he is a product developer. Bradley and I weren't initially in our agency. We weren't originally partners, but we found each other in a really interesting and cool way, which I hope we'll have time to share sometime. It has relevancy to where UpX came from and what we're doing. But he is the head of our development team. He heads product development. He has been from the first line of code that was written to today, he has been in charge of UpX and our product development. And he also heads support. He likes to have a direct connection to the people who use the product, whether it's feature requests, things that, the whole idea is to make things simple. If they're not simple, he wants the feedback. And so he heads our support at UpX. And then Jacob Morris. Jacob is Jacob and I owned our agency together originally, and he was always the back end, the builder, the operator, all that kind of stuff. So he has a big role in what is building the infrastructure, product development with Bradley, and the three of us together have a very nice yin and yang approach to local agency marketing. That is a niche that we are very passionate about. I am not passionate about e-commerce. I do not want to be involved in e-commerce. I like marketing for local businesses because throughout my career, that is who I have been, and that is who I understand. And then, of course, Uppy, I don't know if you guys knew his name, but that's Uppy right there. Uppy is a happy fella. He's happy because he gets to help you. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So we have a mission. Our mission is to simplify and automate media buying for local agencies. Okay. We want you to make more money, have more freedom, and build a business that you love. Okay. And I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like and how you can do it too. And of course, we'll grow with you guys, suggestions and feedback we get will grow with you as well. So I talked a little bit about this, but I want to just set the foundation of where all of this started. Okay. All of you run a lead generation agency. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's stinky, right? And whether you have, I remember when I first started, I had just a couple, 3, 4 clients, and that was, man, it felt like we were printing money. You know, you got a couple clients, you're making $1,500 a pop, whatever, and you can do the stuff yourself. You're like, man, this is easy. Once you get into the 10, 15, 20 client range, it's herding cats. Launching ads was easy. It's now a pain. Getting leads was easy. It's now a huge pain, right? Keeping clients happy was, I mean, they seemed really happy when we got on the call and they're getting leads, you know, there is leads going to them, but all of a sudden I gotta it's like I got a second wife, you know, I gotta do all their business. I got to do my business stuff, get them leads, and then keep them happy because they're not able to convert those leads into like. Here I am, you know, running like a chicken with my head cut off. And at the end of the day, running ads isn't hard, but it's also not easy to pass on. It's prone to human error. There are things that can happen. So if you want a quality product, it's really hard to just dish it off to somebody. Okay. And this is where UpHex comes in. All right. So in contrast, when you run your agency with UpHex, whether you have 3 clients or 300, UpHex uses templates, and our templates can launch a campaign in 3 clicks. Bam, 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 off they go. Okay. Because we use templates, and what you're going to learn today is our marketing is now proven. It's consistent. Our results are not guesswork. Okay. When we make a change to a template, that's not just a change to a single account and maybe that account will start producing. That's a change to 20 accounts at one time. And that is a huge game changer for agencies. Okay. And then the hours spent in ad creation and management really do transfer. This is something I hope sinks in. You guys are agencies. I want you to have the same epiphany that we were able to have in our agency. Hours spent in ad creation and management, doing like the busy work that you're in or getting clients, that can now be transferred over to really amazing proactive support. And that will change your business faster than anything else. Okay. And then last, running ads is simplified. And so it can be run by anybody. Like literally, you can write an SOP, you can have an employee watch a 2-minute video and they can run your ads for you, or you can have your clients run ads themselves. So Leo, my fellow Leo right here, he says simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. And as we were building UpHex, it took us from the idea of what we're talking about to here about 2 years. As we were building it, I'm like, man, this thing is going to work because of all of the complexity that we are digesting for agencies. We are simplifying the process. That is the mission. So instead of your agency needing teams of 5 to 10 people, I mean, when we had 30 to 40 clients, it's amazing the staff we needed to do that. It was silly. Okay. We can do the same thing, if not way better, with the staff of 1 to 3 people. In fact, our agency support is run by a part-time stay-at-home mom, and she kills it, and people love her, and she is proactive. So that's a little bit of a taste of what is in store and what we're doing and why we're doing it. So really, I want to talk about the central working component. Okay, the hub of Patient Stream. Now, there's a lot of really cool features about Patient Stream, including, you know, you can put all your KPIs in one place. So I can look at a snapshot and say, hey, I've got 100 clients. These 5 need this. These 3 need this. I can change that. No big deal. I can look at my templates. There's a lot of really cool features. But central to everything working and being simplified is the idea of a template. And for us, when it comes to templates, it was like, well, you might be thinking, why templates? For us, this was something we did anyway. Like we would get a new client, a chiropractor, an integrated clinic, whatever it was. If we had a campaign with images, ad copy, text, offer that worked, we were not going to recreate the offer. In fact, the longer I did this, the less I would take feedback and input from my clients. Can you maybe change the price a little bit? Or we don't want to offer that. Now I'm like, no, this is science. It is proven down to a control. I don't change anything. If you don't want to use that offer, we have a whole bunch of others you can choose from, but they're proven to work. And if you don't want that, then you don't have to, like, this isn't for you, right? That is the power of knowing what is possible with templates. Okay. So, and I'm not just going to say that. I mean, hopefully you guys are, I don't know how many of you are actually launching campaigns from UpX yet, but let me just provide a little bit of proof here. Okay. This is not guesswork. All right. This is, and you guys know what your KPI hub looks like. It's got amount spent, everything across the top. I took a snapshot. Okay. Amount spent. So these are real dollars. Okay. This one campaign, I can tell you, this is my spinal decompression campaign, by the way, $95,000 spent on this. Okay. 4,394 leads generated at a cost of $21.71. Why would I do anything other than templates when I'm getting those kind of numbers? Why would I ever change anything? Right. And that is what we realized when we started actually using this in our agency, is that, hey, the power of templatizing campaigns is huge. It's immense. I mean, it changes everything. Okay. And it also provides a level of conviction. You can obviously hear my passion in talking about this particular, feature. It just changes the way you do it. All right. So let's move on here. And here's the good news. Okay. It doesn't matter where you're at. Okay. We've got a lot of people on this call that are seasoned immediate ad buyers. Go ahead and mute yourself, please. Let me see if I can. Thank you. We've got a lot of seasoned agencies here. So you know what templates you're using already. And you may not call them templates, but you're using templates. You know what you have. You can upload those. And by the way, it takes the same amount of time, or maybe less, to upload a template into UpX than it does to launch that campaign. So the next time you say, hey, so-and-so needs a campaign, just go ahead and upload the template and you'll have it there for every other client in the future. Okay. So that's the seasoned agency. If you're looking to expand, so let's say you're, new patient marketing. I got a couple fellows on here that are in the new patient game. Okay. Well, what if you wanted to branch out into another type of patient? Orthodontics, dentists, plastic surgeons, whatever it is. The world is your oyster. We've got templates that you can use, adapt, and model. All right. If you know how to create campaigns, they're a great place to just pick them up, start using them, and see what your style is. Or if you're brand new, if you've got the agency bug and you're like, hey man, I found UpX early in my journey, I love what this thing is doing, cut your teeth on some of our templates out of the box. They will generate leads. They're built on working campaigns. While we don't personally in our agency, we don't go out and do all of these niches, we know how to find and source ads that produce leads. So the whole idea is, here's the good news. Life just got a lot faster. That says 10 seconds because I can launch a campaign in 10 seconds, right? Uppy, he's psyched. All right, this is where things start to get exciting. And I'm guessing that a lot of you came to kind of deep dive. We get questions about, what are the offers? How do we sell this offer? What do you do in your agency? And by the way, I love sharing what works in my agency. I don't care. I'll share we now have a vested interest. This is you scratch my back, I'll scratch your situation, where I can say, hey man, this is what works for me. This is why it works. Here's how you can adapt or learn from what I'm doing and just cut the learning curve. Right. So a couple of things. I'm going to show you the offers that we're doing. But before we do that, I want to make sure that we have a couple of foundational principles established before we do that. So first things first, I believe it's my conviction that without a niche, it's not good. Maybe you're smarter than me. There's a lot of people that are smarter than me. I'm not saying that, but the idea of juggling between so many different avatars and prospects and different, motivations is daunting. And I think that it's a foolish endeavor, especially when there's so much need for what we do. So pick a niche. Okay. And then when you pick a niche, you want to come down to a really compelling offer. Now, creating an offer, I'm going to talk today about this. I'll show you our offer. I'll give you some of what I've learned over the years of doing this. But offers alone is not something that we're going to be able to cover entirely today. It's a deep subject. There's a lot you can learn, and there's a lot I can still learn in doing it. But here's some basics. One, every client has a desired outcome, whether they want more money, more time, whatever it is, they have something that they want more of. All right. Your job is to provide them a very simple way to get that and a believable way to execute. So when I say easy, proof, and credibility, one of my favorite copywriters ever is a guy named Gary Bencivenga. Okay. This is called the what 40 years and more than 1 billion worth of scientifically measured direct marketing tests reveal about how to achieve breakthrough results. You can't get this anymore. This is licensed. It's not produced. You can't get this anymore. And he has in here a couple of things, which I'll be sharing. But one of the things is he has a persuasion equation, and it's problem, promise, proof, and proposition. Those are the 4 P's. Now, what's really interesting about that, as you go through all of his information, he says, those are the 4 P's that you can persuade anybody to buy anything with, as long as you know how to touch those 4 points. But 2 of them are the most important. And between the 2 of them, they do about 95% of the work. Number 1 is the promise. The promise needs to be a unique promise. And that's what we're talking about. A desired outcome is a promise that has some weight to the prospect. And number 2, now this one might be surprising to you. Number 2 is proof. Most of the time, people do not buy simply because they do not have a level of belief that you can produce the result that they want. Now, proof is not testimonials, by the way. That's one type of proof. There's 13 different types of proof. But proof is an extremely important element. The number 1 type of proof is actually demonstration, just so you know. And then low risk, right? We're going to talk about what that means here in just a second. But this is the way to start conceptualizing what you can offer to the marketplace. And when you do it right, it makes everything easy. In fact, my agency has a webinar tomorrow. We have 190 people registered for it right now. And we're going to pitch them at the end of the webinar. We're going to pitch them an offer, and we're going to have a really good week next week. We'll add a decent amount of clients next week, right? So your job is to say, what can I pull out of my hat? My team is Jacob, Bradley, and myself. And we can pull things out of our hats that are different than what you guys can do, right? So this is where you need to find out and live through the perspective and the eyes of your prospects. Okay. But here's a couple ideas, right? And especially if you're using Go High Level, which I assume that, most of you here are using High Level. We love High Level. It's an awesome product. In fact, as we were building UpX, and when we started using High Level, we're fairly close, in proximity when we started using them. And we started thinking, well, it would be really cool if we could make this tool and just embed it in there. Like, what would that be like? Right. And so when you see UpX live very natively and Go High Level, it's because we were able to start from, like, we were building the tool as we were using it. So you're going to see a lot of cool stuff with that. Easy offer ideas, automated reviews. I mean, I think Jabin, you were talking to me about some of your low ticket stuff, automated reviews, lost money. I call it lost money because if you can find lost money for people and show them that, they'll let you in there. And you'll gain their trust too, right? Simplify and streamline. What I mean by simplify and streamline is people use so many different pieces of software, and then they just leave them on, subscription. And if you can come through and say, hey, you're using this, that, and the other, let me come in, and not only will I save you all that money, but I'm going to make it actually work, right? These are ways of bridging the barrier to entry. Like, getting clients is really not that difficult so long as you see their problems from their perspectives. Okay. Or here's an easy offer that I hope will really blow your mind. And again, this is not hypothetical. This is what we did. Okay. So, all right. I've got your guys's tiles. I got to move you over here so I can see what I'm doing here. Here's a potential irresistible offer for 2022. A lot of niches, real estate, doctors, mortgage, insurance, whatever it is, they're very familiar now with the idea of Facebook ads, with social media marketing. They are more aware of what it is today than they were several years ago. And there's goods and bads to that. The good is that you have the opportunity now with this new offer to show them something completely in contrast to what they've ever seen. That's number one. It's bad because I remember back when Facebook ads and social media marketing, like agencies where nobody had heard about them, it was a lay down. You could just say, hey, I'll run ads for you and you'll get $5 leads and you'll be rich. And they'd be like, sign me up, right? So like anything, we have to become better at what we do, and that's totally fine. But when you sell DIY, we're kind of back in the Wild West in a way where we're offering something where they're like, say what? Like it sounds too good to be true. Just the same way that Facebook ads did back in the day. All right. So it really comes down to, okay, well, what's the offer? How do you sell it? And the only reason I'm talking about, I could leave it very vague. But Bradley and Jacob are like, hey, we get asked like every day about like what your guys' offer is, how you're pitching it. And so I'll share. I'm happy to share. Here's what I'll say. In 2021, we tried a bunch of different price levels, $297, $397, $497, different terms, different offers. This is the way every agency, including yours, is going to have to test and try and see what is the best fit for you. Okay. Our stick rate at $297 and our stick rate at $497, we measured some of those things. So here's where we have finalized that. Now, this is just our front end offer, mind you, our front end offer. This is the only thing that we're offering at the front end. Sell do-it-yourself lead gen plus terms. Okay. So for example, the terms are as follows. You get free lead gen for 30 days. Okay. So you're not paying for the software, the service, any of that stuff for 30 days. That's appealing. That's an appealing term. Day one, however, they do pay an onboarding fee, which by the way, a monthly fee and an onboarding fee, people at this point in time, they anticipate some type of fee to set up their account. Now, how you price it and what you do, I know a lot of people talk about high ticket. We're going to talk about my opinion on some of that stuff, but for us, we do $497. Okay. And then day 31, we can either solidify, we can convert their account into the $297, or we have a way to upsell DIY to $397. Okay. And then we want low churn. If we do everything right in that initial 30 days, we're going to have really good churn, like low churn, and we'll be able to upsell additional value with ease. Okay. And I say here, sell money at a discount. That's something, a term that I hope to get into in future trainings. It's something that I was taught by a friend. And he always said, oh, just sell money at a discount. But it's the idea of saying, hey, I'm going to get you that result. And I'm so good at it that it's basically money in the bank, but I'm not going to give it to you for what it's worth to you. I'm going to give it to you for less. So sell money at a discount. All right. And we're not the only ones doing this. Okay. In fact, this happened yesterday. I was just scrolling through all you guys. If you haven't friend requested me, go ahead and do that. I can't say I'll always do that. Send me a message on Messenger, because I get so many friend requests from weird people that I don't always accept them. But anyway, we had a fella here, and he said, day one of our new client launching his first click and go ads campaign. Took him 60 seconds to launch. He's new. It's taken him a long time, and has now 12 leads for his fitness program at $5 a pop. The client did this, right? So it's not just my agency. This guy did it too. He's brand new to UpX, just like you guys. So it's pretty powerful. It's an awesome offer. Now, if you're going to do this, I'm not saying you do, okay? But if you're going to do this, there's a couple of things that you need to consider for you to be successful at doing it. One is the deliver and stick phase. That first 30 days is so important. All right. The recency, what is the phrase? People hate to be sold, but love to buy, right? People really do. They're very excited when they buy something, but that buyer's remorse sets in extremely quickly, especially when there's no follow-up, dopium rushes. People want you to follow up. They want the next thing. What? I bought this thing. What happens now? I'm rich or not I'm rich, right? They want to go to the next level, right? So with our DIY, we always do an onboarding, a one-on-one onboarding, okay? That way we're deepening the connection. That person bought through a webinar or wherever they bought. Now we're putting a person in front of them. It's an onboard call, and my staff is able to go in and say, hey, you're set up, you're good to go. Which campaign do you want to turn on? And whether we turn it on for them or we just coach them on how to do it or we just whatever, we are there for step number one, okay? Ensure usage. The number one reason why your accounts are going to churn if you're doing DIY is if they don't use it. And that seems silly, but you guys have run a service-based business for a long time. You know just as well as I do, just because somebody buys something doesn't mean they use it. Leads commonly go to, I wouldn't say commonly, it's almost the rule, right? Leads go to clients and they don't do anything with them. The exception is they follow up with them like a beast and close them like crazy, right? So you have to have a protocol to ensure usage, okay? Ensure usage. And then from the get-go, establish proactive communication, right? You want to measure, like write benchmarks yourself, like benchmark number 1, onboarded, benchmark number 2, launch first campaign, benchmark number 3, got lead, like whatever your benchmarks are, you want to like make sure that you mark those and then trigger a response. Hey, good job launching your first ads. Good job, you're getting leads, good job, whatever it is. And you want to beat them to the punch. Okay. If you do that, your churn rate, this offer will stick really well for you. And what you do afterwards is up to you, but you can really grow a good business doing that, right? Again, I'm not telling you that you need to do the DIY offer. Okay. What's so great about what we do is we own our own businesses. We can choose what we want to do, what makes the most sense for us, right? But whether you do or not, UpX is going to change the way that you do it. Okay. It's going to get you better results. It's going to save you more time. It's going to give you more freedom to focus on the business. You know what building a business is really all about? Delivering a ton of value. And it's going to require people to do that. And if we can automate the busy work, the people can do other more important things like build a relationship with your clients. That's more important. Okay. I sat down yesterday as I was going through this. And I'm sure this is not only the only thing. I mean, there's so many things I could share. I've been doing this for so long, and I know a lot of you have probably learned the same things. But I wanted to throw a couple of these after I share that offer. I want to throw a couple of these in here because at the end of the day, just because I do that and our agency does that doesn't mean that's what you need to do. Okay. There's a lot of people that will find cool parts to that. In fact, one of the James on this call, he offers DIY as a way to supplement or give them, more services for zero money in addition to, because of his coaching business. He has coaching. He's helping them do all these other things. He's like, hey, if you're in my coaching world, this is yours. Right. And that is a value add. He does that because it's the right thing to do. So here's a couple of things that I've learned over 7 years of running an agency and what I want to share with you. First of all, everybody says they have the best model to grow. They sell courses, they run ads, they do whatever it is. That's true and it's not true. It's true that their method probably works, but it's not true that's the only one that works. And the FOMO that they use or the pitch that they use to get, no, man, there are no silver bullets in what we do, you guys, other than UpX. Caveat. But what's true about it is the reality is it's kind of like a pizza. There's thousands of recipes that can deliver awesome. I mean, I like a certain kind of pizza, but they can deliver an awesome product. And so what really matters is not the actual recipe, but it's the ingredients. It's your understanding of the ingredients, right? So whether you do a front end offer like we have or whatever it is, those are ingredients that you should be able to mix and match and understand who your person is and what they need and what's going to really trigger a response, okay? Your opening offer is to help you start making money, okay? The real value comes later, all right? If you try and sell too much up front, it's gonna be very hard. Now, I know a lot of people talk about high ticket. By the way, nobody ever defined for me what high ticket was. You know, I don't know if that's $1,000. I don't know if that's $10,000. I don't know what that is. At the end of the day, what are my profit margins and how many of them can I add and how can I fulfill, right? Again, ingredients. What are the ingredients? Okay. Just like getting married, you'll make a lot more money by building real relationships with your customers. You want to find out where they're at and add value later. Okay. Don't try and make money. Try and add value. Okay. Proactive support. This is the biggest one. I wish I had made that one thing like the biggest on the whole thing. Like it was, you know, a 100 font or whatever. Proactive support grows your client's retention like nothing else. Reactive support grows your, or like just expound your churn. And let me just spend 1 second on that. I'm not going to make anybody raise their hand other than me. How many times, or was it common that your clients would come to you and tell you that you had a lack in results, like lack of leads had fallen off, whatever it is? I'll raise my hand. All right, we got a couple people that volunteered. Thanks to Solidarity Brothers. So that happens, and it happens because we're busy doing other things. And it's not because we don't care. It's because, man, I launched 10 campaigns today. I did optimization, all these. I can't do all these things. When UpX does it for you, you have an SOP and it says, hey, just wanted to let you know that your campaign performance has fallen off. We adjusted the targeting radius. You should be good to go. We'll touch bases in 3 days. I cannot tell you what that means to clients. It will endear them to you like nothing else, and they will stay loyal. And if they do leave, because we have people that leave, if they do leave, they'll say, hey, you know, a new doctor just came in and we're getting too many new patients and we just got to really, whatever it is. I do exit interviews, and when people leave, I don't ever hear the same thing that I used to hear. Oh, performance, this, that. I'm like, I hated hearing that. It was such a drag. It made me wonder, like, why do I do this? All right, moving on. Your creativity needs time to work every day. Everybody on this call is an entrepreneur. Your greatest power, your number one job is to get up in an airplane from 30,000 feet and see what's going on down below you and make a plan. That's what your goal is. That's what you need to do. Your creativity needs to work for you, but everybody is, they, you know, your brains are in prison because you're doing tasks all day long, right? And the amount of exponential results you get by using your creative brain way outweigh anything you do by completing a task. Okay. When it comes to offers, price becomes hard to sell, but terms become easy to sell. All right. If you focus on the money, people do too. If you focus on the terms, people give you a thumbs up. I didn't read any of this stuff over here. What model best suits you? What value can you create later? Your value ladder. I still believe, I saw somebody say the other day, value ladders are dead. That's stupid. That's not, I mean, that's not how we work. Like, you don't ask somebody to marry you first and then, you know, add value later, right? It mirrors the way people work together. You start here and you go more, assuming you can deliver more results and value. Plan communication benchmarks and help to get a goal. If UpX is running your ads and doing all that, take some time and start mapping out what would it look like if I were to just overly communicate with my new customers in the first month? And then what would it look like if I regularly communicated in the next 3, 4, 5, whatever? What would that look like? What would I want them to say? What would I, if I didn't have to be bothered by, well, listen, I don't want to talk to clients because it's not that I don't want to, it's just I don't got time. What would that look like? Make a plan. Telling clients your efforts are not perfect builds trust and credibility. I said that. Breakthroughs happen when you learn. I learned for an hour every single day. I do this thing called windshield time. I'll share that about later. Jabin knows about that. Because money is too real and terms remove fear. Yeah, if you ask somebody to depart with their money or say, hey, what if I could do X for Y? Those are two different propositions. Okay. Those are just a couple things. I feel like those are the big broad strokes when it comes to running your agency, and especially the ones that I've really come to a finite conclusion over the last year of using UpX to run my agency. All right. So, I wanted you guys here for a reason. I wanted to show you the power, what we're building, what we're doing, but I want to show you where we're going. Okay. And I've got Bradley on. Bradley, if you want to chime in and say anything, just give me a thumbs up. I can see you here. First of all, we've got some templates uploaded. We were fixing a saving template glitch last week, so we have more coming shortly. Okay. We'll upload templates. If you guys have templates that you want, I think we've got a pretty decent running list right now. We're working on them. If you've got your own, put them in and get using them, right? We want these. We want you guys to use these, but even without them, I did a video last week on how you can find templates, by the way. New features, template sharing. So eventually, if you wanted to start saying, hey, I've got this template, it's pretty cool. Maybe I want to sell it. Maybe I want to, do an affiliate offer with UpX, and I could, dangle this little template that I have that has this awesome results, and I could dangle that in front of my audience. That's going to be a good way to do that. Custom values. Custom values, it's going to be awesome, but I really don't want anybody to use custom values to say, hey, Boise, Idaho. Can I just say that when you yell out the area, that kind of says, hey, I'm not going to say anything. Just don't do it. I don't like it. Or do it if you want to. I don't care. What do I know? All right. Event marketing. Event marketing used to be a big part of my business pre-pandemic, and it's going to be a big part of a lot of people's businesses going forward. That is in the works. And I'll let Bradley, actually, Bradley, on the feature side, would you mind coming in real quick and just adding your color, where we're at?
Yeah, absolutely. So first off, thanks everyone for all of your feedback so far. It's been great. It's really helped us prioritize our roadmap and where we're going. And we want to build features that you guys need and you guys will use. And so, please keep all that feedback coming. We've already kicked out a few features already. We have special ad categories now for all of you real estate marketers out there. As Sam said, we have sample templates coming out, and we got more to come. You can now find your Go High Level iframe link in your settings in UpX. So your agency settings, you can copy that and then embed that directly into High Level. And just today, we released a feature where when one of your clients connects their Facebook account in Go High Level, that will automatically add them as a client in UpX. So you won't even need Business Manager access to that account in Facebook. It'll automatically populate in UpX, and you'll be able to see the results in your UpX dashboard. So that's pretty cool. In addition to the features that Sam noted here, a few other ones that we have just kind of on our list based on for you guys. A big one is making changes to active campaigns either through UpX or through Go High Level. So if a client wanted to turn off a campaign, they'll be able to do that. If they want to adjust their daily budget, they can do that. Basically, anything to help keep you out of Ads Manager is what we want to be working on. Another cool feature that we're talking about is the ability to push changes to templates, to push those changes out to active campaigns. So let's say you have, 5 clients running a campaign right now, running a template, and you've noticed that, conversion rate has dropped off. So you want to make some changes to the lead form. You'll soon be able to push those changes out to your clients without having to relaunch a new campaign. So that's going to be pretty nice as well. And then lastly, we've got optimizations. So we have some of our own built-in optimization rules that we've been running with PatientStream, and we're going to be making those available to you guys as well. So be on the lookout for all of that.
Thanks, buddy. All right. So a lot of cool stuff. We're building, and by the way, we built this for us initially because we knew what we needed. So the same things that we need, you guys are going to get. And by the way, we used to have automated optimizations, but they were hard coded into our thing. And so we're going to make it to where, Bradley, correct me if I'm wrong, but now we're going to make it to where we're just going to have a couple of automations that we pre-program, and you can click it and you can say, boom, just click that and it's ready on that account.
Yeah, that's right. You'll be able to select the optimizations that you want. You'll also be able to add your target KPIs. So we have our targets that we shoot for, but obviously different niches are going to have different KPI thresholds, and so you'll be able to kind of set those thresholds as well.
Cool. Cool. And then as far as timing, we'll get it. Bradley, as far as timing, can we just get him an email out and just give him a schedule of what's coming and when? Yes? Okay.
Yes, with the caveat, everything is subject to change.
Of course. Okay. So we've got a lot of cool things. Again, these are things that we know we want. So we know you're going to want them. And then lastly, where do we go from here? Your growth. We have a vested interest in your success as an agency, right? The more success you have, the more success I have. And so between sharing what I've learned, whatever the case, whatever it is, I'm actually in a very unique position to where I'm excited to share that. In fact, I have I used to teach Facebook ads, and I've got I can't see everybody, but I at least have one student who was in that. And I like teaching, I like sharing. And so that can be free value for you guys as you look to do things. And then Slack channel. So I don't know that I necessarily like groups, but we want to have something to where we can have a place for people to come in, share ideas, get questions answered, collaborate, whatever the case may be. We'll have that coming in the near future. So again, a lot of this is based on what we know you need. Been running an agency for a long time, and we've got a lot to share. In addition to this, I didn't put this down, and maybe I should have. Today, as soon as we get done with this meeting and as soon as the video renders, I'm going to throw out a replay, but I'm also going to share 3 resources that I've created. I created I know you guys know how to run Facebook ads, and I know that UpX runs them for you, basically. But we've learned a lot about running Facebook ads in the last long time, 7 years. And I wrote a short ebook that I'm going to share with you guys freely. You can look at it. You can, learn what you will. One of the really interesting things that I learned, I was very surprised to see that, at this point, I kind of feel like retargeting and Facebook ads for what I do, my niche, is pointless. And I never thought that before, right? And so having UpX and learning and being able to aggregate all of my data into one place, not only am I simplifying how it's done with templates, But even our optimizations, I have 2 optimizations that are my go-tos. If it's not those, change the offer, right? It's a soft reset, or if it's a hard reset. If it's neither of those, change the offer, right? And that's what's so powerful about this. So you're going to get all of that. I will shoot that out to you in an email.